be talking about being black and female whilst doing my makeup. I'm going to first off start with my eyebrows, where I'll be using the Primark pencil. I normally use the MUA because it's also quite like, I'll say pigmented or thick, and it covers the brows properly. So yeah, I'm going to go in and do that. Okay, so first of all, what I want to say about being black and female is my experience of then the first point where I found out I didn't found out, but I came to a moment of realization that I was black. Which is quite weird because you never really hear about, or you never think that within your whole life, you wait until like 18 years when then you realize, oh crap, look at me, I'm black, when you've seen yourself in the mirror for like 18 years. So the day I found out I was black, I remember I was going to London for an event. It was like a networking event. It was the first networking event I'd been to. And I was just like, oh, I was looking cute, I'm not gonna lie. I had my wig on, my makeup was snatched. And I went onto the train and I was just sitting down. And normally I have wigs on. I had this wig on actually. And like sometimes the parting isn't really clear. And I was just like, not clear, but it's not looking great and people can realise it's a wig in it. So you're just there like a bit self-conscious, like, oh, what if they're just looking at my part being like, shit, that's a wig in it, looking cute. But I was just like, okay, you know, whatever. Normally I just brush it off because I saw myself within the mirror before I left and I was just like, okay, we're good. So anyway, I was on the train and I was sitting across two white men and they were just staring at me. And normally I just stare people straight in the eye and be like, we good? Like, is everything okay? But for some reason that day I genuinely couldn't. Like, I felt, in a way, I was intimidated, as per se, or just uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is the right word. And they were just staring at me. And I was just like, okay then. So it was a whole train journey, and it was like a good 40-minute train journey, and they were just looking like, I mean, they looked away in here, but they kept on looking back at me, and I was just like, God, if I don't make it, please, you know. But I just felt uncomfortable the whole train journey, and I was just like, I know I'm looking okay, I know I've got a wig on, but I'm sure that doesn't even cross their heads, but it just made me feel very uncomfortable. But for that reason, it made me realize that I was different in a way. Like, I'm not like them. I feel like if maybe it was a white girl that they were sitting across, they wouldn't have been staring as much, or I'm not sure, like, but for me at that point of time, it felt very uncomfortable. And then again, that moment, it felt like it repeated a few weeks later when I was on the train. I was actually on the underground, and two ladies, I'm sure they were foreign, they were literally staring at me through the whole train journey. And this time I looked at them for like a good 2 minutes and they looked me straight back in the eye, and I was like, oh God, like, this time it didn't work. And I just felt, again, uncomfortable. And again, it made me feel different because then they were speaking in their own language. And normally I'm just like, okay, yeah, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's from different places. And, you know, you can do what you wish, what you like. But they were then talking about, it felt like I knew they were talking about me. And it wasn't in a way like, oh, look at her. Oh, she's just going about her business. It was more like they were literally analysing me. Because it literally, when I say they were literally looking like from top to bottom, and just talking within each other, I was just like, I'm here, you know, like, I can see, like, if you're going to do that, go and do it in your own time, mate. But then I feel like those two experiences specifically, they really just made me realise that, okay, I'm different, I'm not the same as everybody else, and I'm going to have different experiences compared to most people within this country. And then I went to talk to my friends, and some of them were like, I haven't had that yet. Like, I know I'm black, but I haven't had that moment of realization when I was talking to someone and then realized or I was doing something and realized I was black. So I was just like, oh, maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's just they were just looking for their own reasons, Lord knows what, and I just felt uncomfortable, full stop. But then I just came to realization that okay, maybe not. Maybe it's genuinely my time to realize that okay, I'm who I am, and I have to be okay with that, and I'm where I am. Like I'm in the UK, and UK is predominantly a Caucasian country, and I have to be. It's facts, so I have to be okay with that. Like it's not. My parents moved here for a better opportunities and better lifestyle, and it's working well so far. So I'm good with that, and I just have to, if it means then informing the people around me that okay, if you are of an ethnic minority, you're gonna have those situations where you realize that you are different. Then let me inform them and let them be prepared. Because whilst growing up, I wasn't informed that you might have those situations, those awkward situations where you feel different and you feel uncomfortable and you feel like you don't belong, but you will. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing my concealer around my eyebrows. Today I'm using this one because it's slightly thicker and it's a bit lighter, so it works really well around my eyebrows. After I had that situation, or that acknowledgement and realization of being black, I then thought like, wow, like if I would say that I'm quite stable within myself. Like I know who I am and I'm confident in who I am. But I was thinking, what about those people who are not and they have situations like that, like of genuinely feeling alone and not belonging in a certain area, and they're not even informed about it, then how is it for them? And it generally made me feel like, wow, like, especially kids that then go from school being in school and being around people who they're comfortable with and have grown up with most of their lives to being in an uncomfortable situation, then how do they deal with it? And why do schools not then inform them, or why do they not make that conscious effort to inform them that, okay, listen, you are different and you're going to find yourself in those situations? Because I know maybe they'll think, oh, their parents may do that, but I know I don't think I had that with my parents. Like my parents never told me like, oh, listen, you're in the UK, you're going to find yourself in like mad situations that you may feel uncomfortable. They never like told me that. I guess like in a way it was good because I came to a realization myself, and it felt therefore more organic and more like, oh wow, so this is really how it feels. But I feel like it does make a difference for people to be informed in advance. I believe like it's really important for kids to be informed about those kind of things, like understanding that okay, in the future you'll find yourself in spaces that are uncomfortable and spaces that you're not used to. Within schools, maybe like having a program or having like people like girls like me, having boys, black boys, ethnic minority individuals all together going into schools and just not even speaking about race as per se, but speaking about experiences, like saying, oh, I've been here, I've been to uni, I've been to spaces like this and I've done this, this and that. And it gives kids like, oh, I can be in that space too because they have. Because I remember seeing people like Serena Williams, and I was like, oh wow, look at her, she's doing bits, and look, she's like I could relate to her, like she looks like me, and she's doing so amazing. I sometimes think about doing my eyeshadow right now, but I might just go straight onto my primer and then do my eyeshadow last. Okay, so I'm just using an Emilia. I hate this one, but I couldn't find my other one this morning, so we're going to use this anyway because you need to protect your skin. Situations I found myself in within university would be maybe times where I would go out with a couple of my friends, and they were all, well, most of them were like from like Spain, so Spain, here, Britain, most of them Caucasian, and then maybe like one or two of us who are actually black. And you'd find that most of the time that would be out and like trying to have a good time and on, and all our other friends would be getting approached because the place that we're staying at right now is predominantly Caucasian. So we would be like having a good time and so on. And sometimes, you know, you want that little like, oh hey sweetheart, but you don't get that, you know what I mean? And it's just like, oh okay then, like it sometimes does get you, oh, foundation, Lancome, the best. I mix mine with L'Oreal True Match though, because this gives you a bit of a dewier finish. So I'm just gonna go in my my Lancome first and go in with my L'Oreal. Yeah, so it just gives you, sometimes it makes you wonder like, am I like pretty, or am I like alright? Am I as pretty as the other girls here? Or it just makes you question your self-worth, in which you should never ever ever do simply because you're not getting approached. But then you've got to like, no, it's because of the, you know, that maybe the people there are not what they normally go for, which is understandable because you're different, you're not what they're used to, and maybe they're just, I don't know, I wouldn't say intimidated by you, but like they just don't know what to expect by approaching you, or so on. So you questioning your whole self-worth is like pointless, because at the end of the day you're who you are and you're worth it. Moving on, another situation I found myself in, realizing that I was a black female, was just being out and about in certain areas and having certain hairstyles, because sometimes I don't want to do all this, so I put a head wrap on and I'll find myself just walking down the street and people staring at you like, what the heck is on her head? And normally back home I'll do it and like nobody gives like two, like they just don't care, they don't even look at you, they're just like, okay, whatever. But here I'll find myself walking down the road and people are literally just staring you down, and you're just looking at yourself like, wait, what's wrong? Like, have I got anything on me? And it's not even that, it's just the fact that you've got different hairstyle that they're not used to. And sometimes you find people that actually then stop you and are like, sometimes they're like, oh, Jenny, like, I like your hair. And you're like, oh, thank you. Like, and it's nice that they do stop you and they kind of want to know like how you did it and, you know, like what is happening here. But then people that like, not saying that everybody should stop you and like ask questions, but it's just like they've got to realize that staring is rude. And if you want to know, just ask, like, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, just little stuff like those. Like sometimes it's genuinely just the little things and people coming to touch. The weird things, I never used to get why people used to become so like offended at people stopping them and then touching their hair. I thought, oh, it's cool, yeah, touch it, it's nice. But after a bit, like after I grew up, I was like, oh, like imagine everybody just coming to touch you like you're an exhibition or you're like something that just can be like moved around and stuff. It's not nice. You feel like almost like vulnerable. It's those little situations that I just found myself like saying, oh wow, like now all that is making sense. To okay, why I felt the way that I felt, or why I'm feeling the way I felt, and why other people feel the way that they do. So yeah, they're just a couple of situations, and I'm sure like as I grow up, going into the workplace and going entering certain spheres and so on, I'm going to find myself in other situations. But that's why again I feel like it's so important for ethnic minorities to have a voice, a larger platform to tell other people their experiences. Therefore, when people like me go into those spaces, I won't be surprised and I won't feel as uncomfortable or as alone. So right now I'm going to do my concealer. I'm going to stay with the Mary Kay. Mary Kay is actually a very underrated product. You should definitely try it out. For ethnic minorities and everybody else as well. So I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just blend that out. I'm going to go in with my contour, and I'm using the True Match. It's literally just front out so you can't even see it, but the True Match concealer in 10N, which is hella dark, but it really does a great job. It's almost finished, but we're good. So one other thing that I do find quite difficult sometimes, like it's definitely something that's become so much better as the years have progressed, is the beauty industry and dealing with that being a black female. Sometimes you'd go in and you'll just genuinely just not find your shade or anything that is that matches your skin color, and it was just something that's so sad, considering like you just want to look nice and go in and get these products that certain YouTubers had been recommending in your shade, and it just wasn't there. And there will be like maybe 2 or 3 other shades of dark colors, but it'll be literally probably the lightest color, the like maybe middle one that's supposed to fit every single black person apparently, and then a really dark color. And sometimes the really dark color is not even that dark, which was kind of sad, because then it feels like people that are even darker than me did not even have anything to use, and then they'll come out looking ashy. So I'm just gonna go in and blend the contour out. I've just given it like literally 2 minutes to like sit. I just feel like it is ignorant sometimes where brands don't want to do the research, or they genuinely just don't care about ethnic minorities in a way that they would want to sell to them. Yet we are willing to give you the money for the products that you're selling, you know what I mean? And brands like Fenty, who have come in and then given us a wide range of foundations and are clearly still doing well. Again, it's something that's definitely changing and moving, and like that's such a blessing that you know, we're moving and we're progressing and we're doing well in it. But obviously there's still things that need to be changed. I'm gonna go and do my eyes now. I've decided that we're gonna do like orange and blue. I feel as if black women are always in competition with each other. Like they feel like they can't be in the same position at the same time. So when, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, come through, Morphe. Yeah. Okay, they feel as if they can't be in the same position as each other. So if somebody is a manager, then that's you. Then nobody else can come and take that position. Therefore, they just are not helpful. They're not friendly towards each other, which is so sad, because I feel as soon as black women do come together, we can achieve so much and help each other to get into like the positions that we are deserving of, should I say? Yeah, and it's just like so sad. So I find myself sometimes I'm in a room and there's another black girl there and I want to like talk to her, but she's giving up such an energy that's just like, don't chat to me. And I'm just like, well, okay, all right, I see that's how it is. And it's sad because I feel like as soon as, you know, we start talking, we realize, oh, we're probably in the same position. And when maybe we can both get this position, or we can both do so well together. And I don't know what, I feel like it's kind of installed whilst we're younger from our parents, where it's like, oh, what did this other black person get in school? Oh, why didn't you do better than them? It's not even like, oh, why, okay, well done. It's why didn't you do better than them? Why you're not trying hard enough? So it's like we're always in competition since day, which is so sad. And we should help each other out. But I feel like right now, black women have kind of realized that, and they are genuinely making the conscious effort to help each other in different departments, whether it be in beauty, whether it be in fashion, in music, and they're collaborating and they're coming back together to, you know, achieve such amazing things. Another relationship type that I find that has been quite interesting is romantic relationships, where I feel like black men have this expectation of how they want women to be. So girls that start wearing like full face makeup like I am, or start wearing wigs, or are not this shape, I feel has really started shaping the black community to a really next level. So if you haven't got what do you call it, an ass, and if you haven't got tits, or if you haven't got a certain shaped body, you know, you've got a problem. So girls that haven't got this certain shape or certain body, I felt are kind of put underneath the pile. So if you haven't got ass and you haven't got tits, yeah, or you haven't got like this wide hips or this hourglass figure, or you're not thick, then you're kind of seen as to be, I don't know, incompetent, which is sad, because then it kind of questions you, especially in a society where BBLs, getting enhancing your boobs and enhancing your boobs and breasts, same thing, enhancing your body is so popular. So especially imagine for young people who haven't got any of that, and they're thinking, oh, the only way I can, create a following for myself is if I look like that, and if I do my body like that, which is, I think that's quite disgusting. I'm just gonna go in and do my lip. I'm gonna do just a nude lip. I have to kind of supplement with my nude lip because I can never find a lip for my shade that's nice. So I just go in with like a brown pencil on the outside, and then I go in with a concealer, not near liquid concealer, because then it stays and it looks nude enough. And I think we're done. Okay, so that wraps it up. And I think overall what I probably want everybody to take from this is that there's certain discussions that just need to be had between your friendship groups and your family and your friends, that just call out whatever has been happening. And the more that people discuss it and are freely talking about it, the better it will get as a community, because if everybody just internalizes their emotions and their feelings about a certain group of people, then it doesn't really help them like that. And yeah, thank you very much.